that's where we have, these fantastic educational tools like Camtasia. Jason, tell us a little bit about the philosophy of Camtasia. It's a screencaster, it's an editor, it's an all-around great tool. Is it for adults? Is it for students? Is there an age limit on it? Can I use it in elementary school? Tell us a little bit about the philosophy here.
Sure. So yes, it's a screencasting tool. Yes, it's a full-fledged video editor. And later in the show today, I'll show you how much it's grown in that. Can adults use it? Yes. Can kids use it? Yes. Is it appropriate for elementary school? Absolutely. So for those who don't know me, I'm a former elementary school educator myself. I taught third grade for 6 years, and I used Camtasia initially to share my knowledge with my students when we were working in small groups. I did it when I was going to be away for the birth of my children. And later on in my teaching career, before I left the classroom to join TechSmith, I actually had students creating podcasts and creating screen recordings and screencasts, the small digestible ones, to share their knowledge with either other students or, to be honest, since kids are so good at technology and have this fearlessness about diving into new programs and new tools, they would create little help guides for staff at the school. And it was just a sense of pride for them to share the knowledge through screencasting. It was a sense of accomplishment for their classmates and staff at the school to learn. But can you imagine what it was like when their parents saw something that they created and heard their voice, and it was more than like a voice thread or something like that? It had movement and had interactivity. Most of the time it had the webcam on and had their faces so that they could take ownership through part of their learning. So in terms of Camtasia or a lot of screencasting and editing tools, you can spend this much time on it and make a great product, or you could spend this much time and make a great product. You just got to know your audience and what your intended goal is at the end of the recording.
And we are back here for the Tech Educator podcast. Of course, we're talking all about screencasting and ways to make great videos with your classrooms. One of the brand new applications that just launched today that we are so proud to be a part of their launch today is the brand new Camtasia. I'm talking today with not only a wealth of information in our educational panel, but I also want to bring back into the program Jason from TechSmith. Jason, tell us a little bit about some of the things that are happening these days at TechSmith, and what did it take to launch this new version of Camtasia? What's so special about it?
Well, so there's the three primary things that we went to market with Camtasia this time around. The three themes are making more engaging content, which is a great point based on tonight's conversation about making videos that people want to watch, that want to consume. We bumped up the power and the abilities to work with 64-bit machines a little bit stronger, a little bit more use of what's capable. And we also wanted people who work in dual environments, Windows and Mac platform, to be able to collaborate successfully. So all of our projects and recordings are now cross-platform compatible, not just the recordings, but everything. And we redesigned the UI. We've come up with brand new assets for people to use. And we've added something called behaviors, which frankly is the most amazing thing I've seen come out of our production area and our development staff in the years that I've been at TechSmith. And it allows you to make extremely engaging videos with a simple click and drag. So it's pretty exciting.
Is this an application that we can use in the primary grades? And if so, do we have to do a lot of training on it, or is it self-explanatory to a 9-year-old?
So my 9-year-old, who is now getting into making YouTube videos of his own, needed very little guidance from me because, like most 8, 9, 10-year-olds, they wanted to explore. For those who need a little bit of help, we have free tutorials on our website. We often allow or create webinars for people to attend. And for those who are attending on behalf of their schools, we also do 2-day workshops all around the country as well. So can you get into it and make something right away? Yes, you can. And with these new add-ons to Camtasia, you can make a pretty eye-catching video in mere minutes. And we'll actually try and do that tonight on the fly. So screen recording, I'll say, has become a commodity, right? There are a lot of tools out there in the world that can do screen recording. And there, like we said, there's a lot of tools that can do editing. So the screen recording is real simple. So talking about people that want to learn how to screen record, they select where they want to record, which typically is either full screen or a section. They decide whether or not they want the camera, which this one's going to freak out because we have, let me plug in the other camera here. So there's my camera inside of Camtasia. Hey, how's it going? And then they have to pick their audio source, which for those of us in classrooms, we would pick different microphones depending on which ones are plugged in. And I don't have mine plugged in. I'm just going to put a plug out here for this. For a classroom, an educator, the blue Snowball microphone, it's a USB microphone. It used to be $100. You can get them for like $40 as an educator. Awesome education, podcasting, screencasting tool for students. So at this point, they'd hit record, but we're not going to talk so much about the how to do this part. What I want to show is this. This is the new Camtasia interface. And in previous versions, I had to show one version for the Windows side and one for the Mac side. Ready? Don't blink. There's the Mac side. Oh, it's exactly the same. Mostly. There are some things on the Mac side that you can't have on the Windows side. There's some things on the Windows side you can't have on the Mac side, but largely they behave and act the same. We took away the tools from down here where it was in the ribbon before and exposed nearly all of them on the upper left-hand side. Everything from media, which would be the images and sounds and pages and PNGs and stuff that you have for a project, as well as the library. This is a primary difference between the Windows and Mac version. Windows has a library with all these brand new icons and music. And like, let's say you want a office image, like there's this brand new vector form image. The Mac side does not have a library, but we make every single one of these brand new assets, the animated backgrounds, the icons, the motion graphics, the music. They are all on the TechSmith website, and they are all royalty free and free for people to download. So my Mac friends, because my Mac is sitting all of 2 feet to my left on my other desk, enjoy these. So what I want to show primarily, we were talking about engaging video. Deciding whether or not you want to have the webcam on, that's a great conversation. I'd love to talk to Mindy some other time about how she views the value of the sound quality and people's faces and how long they should be on the screen for these short videos, but that's another time. What we really want to talk about is this little tiny button here called behaviors. This is a family show. I'm still going to use this phrase. Ready? Behaviors are as close to one-click sexy as you will ever see. Here's what I mean. I'm going to add a text annotation to my canvas here. I'm going to say, hi, teachercast.tv. As of right now, that's white text on white background. That's not that great. So I'm going to come over here to our new properties window, which allows you to make changes right within the canvas. Let's make it green so you can see it. In its own right, in previous versions of Camtasia, I'd have this pop up on my screen as my title slide, and maybe I'd fade it in or something like that. But behaviors takes it to a whole different level. Right now, there are 9 different behaviors that are preloaded into Camtasia, everything from this thing called drifting to pop-up. And if you hover your mouse over it, you can actually see a preview of what the behavior will do to text or any other piece of media. In this case, I'm going to use this jump and fall animation, this behavior, and I'm going to simply click and drag it onto my text. And when I play this back, here's what you see. You get an activity as it comes in, you get a during effect, and then it has an exit action. Now, you're not seeing it as cleanly as it should be because we're broadcasting live over at Google Hangout, but trust me, it works beautifully when it's on your own screen. The biggest thing about these behaviors, Jeff and everybody, and I'm waiting to see what Josh creates because I'm seeing his eyes. I want to see what he creates. Behaviors have a in behavior, a during behavior, and an out. In is what happens when it comes in. During is simply the duration of what happens during the duration and how it exits. And if you actually click in here, there are so many different things to play with. All the pre-builts can be modified to your heart's content. You can have it come in at a certain size, a certain level, how much it's going to offset. So I just jumped my bounce up to 95%. So now when it comes in, it's going to be pretty dang obvious that it's bouncing, almost completely unreadable, right? So what's interesting is let's bring that bounce back down because, oh my goodness. Each one of these behaviors, and you can actually add up to 3 behaviors to each piece of media. So if I also want to do a reveal and maybe this scale. Now I've added 3 behaviors just to this one piece of text, and it took me all of what, a couple seconds. So now I've added all this thing where it's kind of pulsing, the letters are fading in and out. And once I have something I like, if I'm on my Windows side, I can add it to my library. Now, behaviors work optimally with text callouts, but you could also add them to still images. And I actually added something earlier while everyone was talking. Sorry, I should have been paying closer attention. But I added this behavior to this set of media. So let's see how this looks. So TeacherCast is going to drop off. In comes the TeacherCast logo, joined by Kite Learning and Camtasia. So each one of those has a different behavior associated with them. I could talk over this intro. Thanks for joining us tonight at TeacherCast TV with all these wonderful guests. Have it drop off, and then the thing fades out. So that took me, I don't know, 45 seconds. Yes, I'm a seasoned user, but I simply grabbed images from Google Images, brought them in, dropped a behavior on top of them, which pop-up, that's my favorite. And then all of a sudden, I have a behavior affected image that's ready to drop out. So now what we're doing is, if you have a teacher that is still getting used to technology, getting used to how to use technology, and maybe has a whole series of PowerPoint presentations that could use some sprucing up, let's say, they could do this. They could apply it to behaviors to images on their PowerPoint presentations when they're brought into Camtasia, and allow for a higher level of creation. So I'm excited about behaviors. I'm really excited and proud of all these different icons and assets we've added. So animated backgrounds. Let's say I want to add a background to my title slide. Let's scooch this stuff over. Let's add, oh, what's a fun one? Here's flying apps. So now my video would start with this gorgeous 1080p rendered flying apps background, which I could then add the Kite Learning logo on top of, and maybe the Camtasia logo, which is horribly undersized, my bad, and give TeacherCast their due love, and we'll give them a little bit bigger. Maybe I want to add a drifting behavior to Kite, a scale behavior to Camtasia, and a sliding one to TeacherCast. And maybe I want them all to come in, but I want them to be staggered. So I will make sure they all come in here at different times. And now, with just a couple seconds worth of work, this is the start of my video now. It's got these flying apps. Here comes the Kite Learning logo, Camtasia, TeacherCast. And then when I call it good, I can simply group all these items together, which grouping has just been added to the Camtasia Mac side. Now these all come together as one piece. I can put my media together and have creation of a brand new video with very little effort put into it. So pretty excited. All of the assets inside the media library that get shipped with Camtasia, as well as the ones you can download off our website, are royalty free. So teachers and all of our common Creative Commons licensor and all that, it's fine. As long as you don't claim it as your own, use it in every single project you want, up to and including all these really awesome music tracks. Let me play one for you guys real quick here. Here's video game music, we called it. That one's actually kind of boring. Can you guys hear that okay?
Yep.
Rocking out. All right. And then we'll do one more here. Real popular one, Technicolor Dreams. So the team that was part of creating and picking these assets really grabbed assets that had a sense to them. Like, you listen to it and you're like, oh, that sounds like a learning video, or this sounds like an ominous message that's coming into the classroom, or something like that. They all have a sense to them. They are all royalty free. And I'm going to say this publicly. There's 10, 15 music tracks. There's hundreds of icons. TechSmith's very committed to keeping this stuff fresh and we're going to constantly be adding stuff to our library on our website, the majority of which is going to be free to download. Some may eventually have some cost to them, but for the most part, you could create a whole series of wonderful videos for your classroom without having to spend any extra money.
Jason, again, we are live here on teachercast.tv. We are actually having a standing ovation for you in our chat box. This looks absolutely beautiful. And I want to pause right here and say that there is a way for those listening to us live to get their hands on a copy of this. How does anybody listening live right now obtain a free copy of this beautiful new application?
So anyone can download a free trial. Let's just put that out there. If you go to techsmith.com, you can download a free trial. It behaves for about 15 to 16 days. It is full functioning trial, so you can try every little thing. Caveat is there is a watermark on it. After that time, to remove the watermark, you would need to purchase a license. Licenses are, the price changed. Licenses for all platforms, both platforms, Windows and Mac, $199. You buy it once, you own it forever. There's no subscription. There's nothing like that. Every time we do minor updates and maintenance upgrades and all that, you would get those all included for you for free. If you're buying series of them, like 5 or more, the price starts plummeting, especially there's educator discounts. So if you're an educator and you're watching this show, make sure you grab the educator discount. If you call in to buy it, there's an educator discount. But for this show, as well as Kite Learning did, I'm going to give away 3 licenses. The way I'm going to do it is I will also have it through the end of the week. If you follow TeacherCast on Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, I will select from the people that I see on both follows for the rest of the week, and I'll do a random generator and pick 3 names. So that's where we're going to put it out for that. So my handle, I don't know if you can put that up, Jeff, if you've got it.
I can try to, but why don't you spell it? We'll put it in the chat box.
Sure. Mine is J to the V. It's JAY, the number 2, the THAVEE. Don't blame me. This was a branding I did for myself when I was a teacher, because I thought I was also going to be a rap star, which I'm not. But I held on to J to the V. It is my mantra. It's how people actually know me at conferences. Sometimes they'll go like, "You're J to the V." Yeah, I'm Jason. No. You're J to the V, which is awesome. So JAY number 2 THAVEE. So that is one other little tiny note with that licensure. How many of you have, even in our panel, have machines at school and at home? Most, right?
Most of us.
Yeah. So here's the deal with that license. If you happen to get it, if you're the primary user of a computer, say in your classroom or in your office, and you're the primary user of a singular computer at home, that one license can be installed in both places.